All right, this speech is the second affirmative constructive. Typically it would be done by the other partner, but since there's just one of me today, I will be doing all the speeches. For an order, I'm going to answer his case attacks and then directly respond to his spending disadvantage. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the negative up here tries to paint a picture of us being unable or unwilling, or it's too expensive to go to Mars. I'm here to tell you that it is absolutely essential that we make this goal and we move to Mars. Let's begin with his argumentation on the problem and the cause. First of all, he says that there are bigger issues, the budgets and whatever else that we have to get in order. There is no bigger issue than the very survival of our species. Our evidence indicates that the only way we're going to be able to survive an extinction level event is if we have our eggs in more than one basket. Getting to Mars and building that basket is absolutely essential. His next argument here is that space is just generally a waste of money. I'm going to want you to cross-apply my answers from the spending disadvantage on this to show you why space is absolutely essential to generating and making our economy a lot better. Now, on the solution, he says that private industry could possibly do space better. He offers absolutely no evidence or nothing to back this up. All our evidence says that NASA is the best agency to be doing the work. Now, the next thing he says in his argument is that a mission to Mars is unfeasible. But that's certainly not the case. A mission to Mars is cheap, quick, survivable, technologically feasible, and key to stopping the extinction of the entire human race. From MSNBC 11/15/2010. Human travel to Mars could happen much more quickly and cheaply if the mission were one way. Humans must begin colonizing another planet as a hedge against the catastrophe on Earth. Mars is a 6-month flight away, possesses surface gravity, an atmosphere, abundant water, carbon dioxide, and all the essential minerals. Profiling and training of the astronauts plus a constant communication with Earth will reduce the debilitating mental strains. They would, in fact, feel more connected at home than early Antarctic explorers. Mars has an abundance of resources that helps colonists become self-sufficient over time. The colony should be next to a large ice cave to provide shelter from radiation, plus water and oxygen, they wrote. In other words, we absolutely can go to Mars. There's no reason why we can't do that. Now, their last argumentation was some sort of general idea that we would export our problems to another planet. First of all, that would mean we'd have to solve our problems at home, which the negative never offers a solution to that. Second of all, it would be no worse than Earth because it would just be humans. So yes, sometimes humans have problems, but that would be true on Mars as it would be on Earth. That's not a reason not to do our plan. And thirdly, when we make this trip to Mars and we make it capable for humans to survive in space, we'll be able to solve some of those problems. Extinction is inevitable. Mars exploration is an absolute must to solve this problem. The Journal of Cosmology in 2010. There are many reasons to travel to other worlds besides the urge to explore. At some point, we have no choice but to leave our home. Our sun will eventually destroy all life on our planet. It will cause our oceans to boil away. More immediate concerns and issues associated with ensuring a sustainable future. Our planet's non-renewable resources such as ores, precious metals, not the least of which, especially our growing population, will destroy our planet. Establishment of space colonies will teach us much about sustainability issues. Planets have thriving ecosystems because nature evolved. Earth's biochemical processes to maintain long-term stability. This stability is now being threatened by our own doing. So in other words, our process of actually learning and learning how to colonize Mars will allow us to make Earth more sustainable. Now let's move to the spending disadvantage. First of all, he says it's really expensive. Well, our answer back to that is it's expensive, but it's going to have absolute benefits. Now, the first thing I want you to talk about, what I want to talk about is the budget deficit. He said budget deficits are a major problem, but what he doesn't realize is that the United States economy can uniquely sustain large deficits. From Brookings Papers, Economic Activity, September 22, 2007. The United States has a vibrant, innovative economy. Its demographics differ markedly from those of other rich countries. The United States has a comparative advantage in the globalized market in producing marketable securities and exchanging low-risk debt for high-risk equity. It is not surprising that this saves around the world want to put a growing portion of their savings into the U.S. economy. The U.S. current account deficit and corresponding surplus everywhere, although conventionally described as imbalance, do not necessarily signal economic disequalization in a globalized world economy. They may remain large for many years to come. So in other words, we can weather deficits better than any other country. Second of all, I would like to say that the recent fiasco on Capitol Hill with the debt crisis, completely non-uniques this entire disadvantage. We should have seen our economy tumble when we reduced our deficit rate from AAA to AA. And lastly, what I want to answer here is that NASA funding is absolutely essential and key to the economy. From Casey Jones, Information Week, 6/8/2009. Congressman Posey sent a letter to... Thank you. I now stand open for cross-examination.
All right, to begin with, how do we know that it's feasible to do a trip to Mars?
I've read evidence from experts that
You
say
read
we have the
evidence from
technology.
MSNBC. Are they experts
They are
on
quoting
space?
experts.
What experts were they quoting, and how do we know?
Well...
I know MSNBC can do reporting.
Right, that's what they were doing. They were reporting.
But what I don't understand is how we know we can go to Mars, and it's just so darn easy.
Because we have the technology. The technology to get there has been there since
No.
the 60s.
That's a very generic answer. I'm looking for something more specific. How do we know we can go to Mars?
Because experts say we have the technology.
So you have
Look,
no-
I don't have to be responsible for explaining
So
how
you
every
can't-
bit of this technology exists.
What-
I have experts that say we can do it.
Right.
Right?
What experiment do they reference?
They reference several experiments. I mean, just the fact that we made it to the moon in the 1960s indicates that we have the capabilities of putting together a Mars trip, right?
So because we went
the
to the
technology
moon, we
isn't
can do it.
drastically different.
I mean, you can just keep saying the word technology, but it doesn't really give me any indication as
Right.
to what the
we
reasons
have
are.
we have in design and also.
I didn't think we had any of this stuff in design because we're not going
It was
to Mars.
recently
and we-
cut, but yes, we have this design.
So NASA funding
And
for
it's
Mars
based on
has-
technology from the moon landings. This is not radical new stuff. It's flying a
Going to
spaceship.
Mars is not radical new stuff.
No, it's not
just
radical
flying a
new stuff. What we
spaceship.
have to do is just devote our technology in that direction, and we can make current technology capable of getting that way.
So I've gotten some inconsistencies in the answer. You said in the middle of things that Mars funding was recently cut. Yet I
Right.
remember in the first cross-examination you said that we had all the money to go to Mars.
Right?
Which-
They're
which-
not.
Which one of those is it?
It's both.
So
it
it's
is.
both
Let me
being
answer the
cut.
question. Let me
Yeah.
answer the question. It is both that we have the technology and the information, and recently that thing has been redirected to other sources or other programs within NASA. We can redirect that.
What thing are you talking
The
about?
Constellation program.